Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. I wonder what we're talking about this morning. Can I get a little music over there, please? Look at that trumpet play. That's Steve Turpin on the trumpet. And you didn't play trumpet in the band at the University of Memphis,
No, I played clarinet.
You play clarinet, and you're playing the trumpet right now.
Yep.
And I played trumpet in the band, and I can't play a clarinet, and I can't play that thing you just tooted on right there either. But, hey, this is our annual turkey show on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We've been doing this a long time. Steve Turpin in studio. We got Tony Dolly back on with us, one of my co-hosts, and it won't be too long. We're going to announce something else that Tony and I are going to be involved in. We're still working on it, Tony. Okay, so don't.
Yes, we are.
Don't give up on me. My cancer battle and my gallbladder surgery. I just figured I'd get it all out of the way in 1 year. You know, so that's what I've done. But I can't wait till next Saturday, opening day of the Tennessee turkey season. I've got my 20 gauge ready. I'm ready and fired up, and we got a guest on the line right now that has been on this show many times, and you folks know him because of his competitive turkey calling and the work he has done, the National Wild Turkey Federation Grand Nationals. I think, Billy Yargus, have you won that thing 3 times? How many times have you won that thing?
Yes, sir, 3 times.
3-time winner of the National Wild Turkey Federation, Billy Yargus, out of the great state of Missouri, right?
That's right.
All right. I want to make sure you hadn't moved to Hollywood yet, Billy, or anything like that.
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Did you hear that? I don't want to break any news here, but thanks, Billy, for being with us on this show as we talk about that. How you got into this, Billy? Tell our listeners out there, because I think it's kind of interesting the way you got into this thing.
I was just a turkey hunter. I started years and years ago as a turkey hunter. I hunted probably 18, 20 years and decided I wanted to get better turkey calls, mouth calls. So
yes.
I got into turkey competition, and that's how I got my start. And I had no idea that it was ever going to evolve into what it has today of winning 3 Grand Nationals and then
the senior champion
full time.
Yeah, the senior champion, the Mid America Open. Is that still 6 times? And the U.S. Open Championship too.
I think 7 times for the
Seven
Mid Am.
times.
Yeah, and I've won the U.S. Open in the world. And
well, what is it like to be Billy Yargus? And everybody expects you to be the. You can't mess up, Billy. I mean, this is something that you live with. I know you love to teach people. So what's a tip from Billy Yargus about somebody out there that says, "Man, I just can't do this." What would you say to him?
What if they couldn't run a turkey call? You mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you just got to keep practicing and keep listening to the real turkey. That's the big thing. You got to, if you want to sound like her, you've got to listen to her, but you also got to find the right call, because in mouth calls, there's so many different cuts, so many different thicknesses of material, so many different stretches. So when you do find the one, you can hear. When I hear a turkey in a call, then I can just work with that call, and I can perfect it to where I wanna be.
So if you could only take one turkey call to the woods.
No, I don't say that.
Huh?
I don't say that. No, I have a slate call. I have a box call.
You got them, don't you? Okay.
I've got a Cherry Classic Crystal. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people say turkey hunters are, and you might go with this, Tony, or I know Steve would, panhandlers. I mean, we now have the turkey vest with 48,000 pockets in it, and I'd like to know.
And that's not enough.
That's not enough. From Billy, what did you start with? I mean, we've asked people what's the basic differences between when you started and now what's going on in the turkey industry.
Well, when I got started, I ended up, I didn't even have just an old hunting coat. So
there you go.
I had a single shot 20 gauge.
Okay.
And I wore brown corduroy pants.
There you go.
And,
yes.
And a dark colored flannel shirt.
And now we got so much camo and everything like that we have to do. But I think Steve, he hit on one thing here, practice. So Billy, to keep that, you still got that competitive edge, I know, and everything like that. But what a practice session would be what for you?
When I was competing, when I very first started, I was practicing 4 and 5 hours a day.
4 and 5 hours a day. Okay.
Yeah, I drive everybody crazy.
you had to be committed. So which one of the devices come easy for you? Is it one that's easier for you? I mean, I have a real difficulty with a mouth call. Steve Turpin just played that trumpet over there that sounded wonderful. But today's guys got to be versatile, right, Billy? I mean,
yeah, exactly. I've always liked the mouth call. I started out with it when I was 13 or 14 years old.
Uh-huh.
And believe me, I sounded just like any beginner did, and you just keep working with it. And I finally run into a cutter call. I bought one at a Walmart years ago that Ray I designed.
Yes, Ray I.
I could hear a turkey in that, and I just kept working with it until I finally got it where I wanted to. I killed a lot of birds with that call. But my problem was when I went back to the store to buy another one, the next one didn't sound exactly the same. It was close, but it wasn't exactly the same. And that's what got me into wanting to compete and wanting to build my own calls. And now my wife and I, we work full time for Woodhaven, just building mouth calls. So.
I know you do. That's what you do for Woodhaven in the mouth call industry. But there's a difference between competitive calling and hunting. Is it or is it not?
There is, and there isn't. I mean, when you're competitive calling, you're calling to the judges, so you're wanting people's opinion.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people that will sound like a turkey that the judges it doesn't hit their ear quite right.
Yes. Yeah.
But then the turkeys, I've had turkey calls that I was just messing with, and I didn't really like them real well, and the turkeys responded better to them than the call that I really like. So it all depends on the turkey and what they want to hear.
Well, I've always had difficulty with a mouth call. I don't know, Tony. Maybe you haven't. Turpin doesn't have to because
I've never really practiced enough with one, and a big problem is just like Billy, I just couldn't find one I liked, and didn't have the patience really to mess with it because I liked my slate call so well.
Yes.
And my box call, I just didn't, and now I wish, 40 years later, I wish I had.
Hey, Billy, what's going on at Woodhaven? I want you to give us a little tip on maybe some mouth calls you guys have got coming out that you've actually designed yourself.
I've just designed a new one this year. We call it the Equalizer. It's a cutter-type call.
Yeah.
Got some special cuts in it that come out. We only sold 500 of them this year at the NWTF convention.
500 of them? Okay.
500 three-packs.
Yes.
Yeah, we sell 500 of them, and then they'll come out next year. My favorite call overall, I've designed the Blue Viper, the Blue Cutter, and the
Blue
Cutter.
Yeah.
And the Blue Cutter is my very favorite, yes.
So how long does it take you how do you determine if that call is going to work or not for you? I mean, you're a perfectionist. So talk about the side that when you put your name on that label or anything, it's got to have passed a test. And I'm assuming you field tested, whatever. What goes into that process?
For me, I feel like I know what a turkey sounds like, so I've got to get that call to where I can get the soft purrs and clucks, the soft clucks like a turkey in a tree, do the tree yelps.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But I want to be able to do a really nice. To me, the bread and butter of turkey hunting is the plain yelp.
The plain yelp.
That's the bread and butter for me, whether I'm on public ground or on private ground. And then I also want to be able to get aggressive and start doing excited hen yelps with the cutting and the faster and more aggressive and more raspier yelps out of it. So it's got to be able to do all those things. Plus, I want a kiki on it. So
yes, yeah. Again, we got Billy Yargus on here. If you know turkey hunting, you know Billy, the competition and everything like that. I've got to ask you, Billy, and I might have asked you this before on this show before, but I don't expect that you ever thought that you'd be doing what you're doing when you were growing up. You might have wanted to be a fireman. I don't know. What was Billy Yargus hoping to be when he was a kid?
I don't know. I mainly just wanted to be a cowboy. I still
like
riding horses and doing that kind of stuff.
That's what I want you to say. Yeah. The cowboy still in you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I broke my pelvis about 3 years ago.
I remember.
Horse,
yes, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm all healed up now, and my wife doesn't want me competing and running anymore, but I still like to trail ride and maybe do some team sorting or just whichever way the wind blows me on that.
How many horses you got, Billy?
I've only got 3 myself.
Only
now.
3 yourself. Okay, you only ride one at a time, Billy, unless you've got some new trick you're doing. I don't think I know about.
Now you're sounding like my wife.
Uh-oh. I don't want to do that. Billy Yargus, thank you, buddy, for being with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And if you got one tip for a young person that wants to get started in this sport, what would you tell them?
If you want to get started, I would say start off with a slate call, like Tony was saying. It's one of the easiest calls there are to learn.
Yes.
And be sure and have plenty of patience. Wait that turkey out, and don't forget, just do the soft stuff, and that'll draw him in most of the time.
I think, Steve Turbin, you said patience is pretty important, right?
Patience kills turkeys.
There he goes. That's what Steve Turbin said. Yeah. Billy Yargus, thank you, man. Have a great weekend, and we hope to talk to you next year for sure. Okay, Billy?
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, let's take a break. We're rolling here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. There it is. There he is. We'll be right back.